Hey. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, family. Welcome to the mental house. It's a little dark in here, I see. Um, I am your host, Khadijah. I am going to make a quick video, and I want y'all to bear with me for a second and just try to follow me on this one because, again, I'm I'm still climbing out my grave, and I don't really think uh, that I will ever climb all the way out now because I realize now it's nation time. And if I never knew it before, I know it now. I mean, I should say I've been knowing it, but I know it now more than ever. That it's nation time. And we all got to stand up and be counted. And with that being said, I keep saying that it's only two principles that you can operate off of, and it's love and it's fear. And right now, everybody's in fear. Everybody. I'm freaking afraid that somebody is going to shoot somebody that I love, or if they don't shoot me, by virtue of my skin color. Um, obviously, obviously, the police department is operating out of fear, as they have been for quite some time. But because I know that the order of the police have evolved from the night patrollers and the slave catchers, I don't really expect too much more out of them. And so it's obvious that it's open season. Open season is the way it used to be. I think the only difference is that we have cameras today. I really don't think, it may be a turn up. I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, just like after Reconstruction, there was a lot of more killing. Since Obama been in office, it seems like it's more killing. But at the same time, we have cell phones now, and it's something that we never had before. So we also have to take that into consideration. Um, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to read this little quick statement, and I think this kind of sums it up, kind of like, because I always thought the opposite of fear was courage. That's what I always thought. Growing up, every time I would express fear, my dad would tell me to be brave. Uh, so when the kids tell me they're scared, I remind them that courage isn't about being fearful. Courage is about overcoming fear. So many sermons that I've heard over the years have to do with overcoming fear with courageous faith. Obviously, courage is much better linked to fear, but courage isn't the opposite of fear. Now, according to the thesaurus, the opposite of fear is safety. The opposing feeling to being scared is feeling secure. Maybe I'm the last one to this party, but that's very interesting to me. As I begin to think about this, I started thinking about my life, my relationships with the police, with each other, other human beings. I have spent much more time trying to be courageous than I have to being secure. I have spent more time trying to prove how brave I am, how much faith I have, than I have spent the rest of my day I'm sorry. I'm trying to prove how brave I am, how much faith I have, than I have spent resting in the safety of my relationship with God. Okay, so the key points I wanted to hit on here, as you can see, is that nobody feels safe. I know we don't feel safe, and obviously, we know the police don't feel safe. This is the day that Thomas Jefferson dreaded. He dreaded the day that our numbers became such. A lot of them shuddered to think what would happen. The Quakers, from all of them, when the numbers start rising for people of color, and the non-white numbers start going down. That's why, Libya was created, in fact, to get some of us out of here. But America has been operating off of fear that we are going to do to them what they have done to us for 400 years. That's really the fear. And so they have to keep their foot on us. I think it's very important for us to not waste energy trying to explain or eradicate the mindset. They have non-color people have to be put in a position where they can experience what we experience. And unless they can do that, we're really wasting our time. Because if you look at some of the white supremacist trolls that, and some of the comments that they've said about Alton Sterling or Philando Castile, I mean, just crazy stuff that you know that it is a mental illness. Like how many tickets somebody had. What that has to do with them being killed is totally unbelievable. So that shows you they have no empathy for us, and they are in total fear because instead of looking for some kind of uh, to make us feel safe to any degree, they have to combat it again with the opposite of is fear and love. What's the opposite of love? Hate. Okay, so we're dealing with people that can't provide us safety. Okay, they can, and I'm talking about the race soldiers now. Okay, because and I thought about something that Corey Holcomb said too as well. Corey said something very interesting, and it's the truth. And I think about Nakia, the officer who's on leave, whether they fired her or suspended her, she broke the blue code of silence. There have been officers I've seen on YouTube where their commanding officer had told them to go out and target people and build a case on people that you know that can't afford legal representation. You actually have police standing out saying that they're giving this duty and roll call, and they're all officers of color. Nobody want to talk about that. These guys are doing the supreme sacrifice when they do things like that. That's why I can't say all cops are bad. These are race soldiers. Nobody want to talk about the spike in the Ku Klux Klan um, membership in the police department. Nobody talking about that because these are race soldiers that have watched video games and can't wait to go pick off a nigga. So when they're operating out of fear, okay, and if it's not love, and then they have a certain amount of hatred for things that they don't understand, that's a recipe for disaster. I know a lot of people also want to talk about black on black crime and why y'all kill each other and blah blah blah. You know what it's like? It's like fighting a family member. You know how when you fight and you can tell your friend about your big head sister or your big head brother and they make you sick and yada 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 and blah 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 blah. But that next door neighbor or that friend better not try to do it to your family member. Then you got a problem. And I think that's what on another level, that's what we are experiencing. Not saying that it's right, not trying to even justify it, because it has to stop. And maybe this will be the catalyst to us seeing each other and loving each other once again. However, when I hear about all the homophobic rhetoric and the dark skin, light skin rhetoric in our community, and seeing a young black man having a gun pulled on him just because somebody didn't like what kind of clothes he had on, we have to understand that the mirroring that we're doing to the community at large that don't like us no way and is already operating out of hate and fear of us, it's not hard to and far-fetched that they would exterminate us. So again, I know that we're not hallucinating. I know that we're tired of watching our loved ones being killed, and I know for every action there's a reaction. I know there's a lot of bases of military in every part of the diaspora where America is setting up shop like a bully. I know that one of the reasons that Muhammad Ali refused to go to the war is because he said, "I'm not going to go and fight no Viet Cong that ever called me a name, and I got people calling me niggas right here and mistreating my people right here." Um, those are all the ingredients for a powder keg, and that you could see something like Micah Johnson, and there's probably going to be plenty more Micah Johnsons and explosions going on both ends. Because we refuse to understand that we are all operating out of fear. Yeah, it's fear. And until somebody come to that, and a solution for me, to me, would be is is again to focus on equality, to kill, replace the not kill the yes, to kill and replace the system of white supremacy with a system of justice and equality. But then we wouldn't have capitalism now, would we? I think another immediate goal is to start your own business if you don't have one. See whose black business you can invest in. Buy black. Go to buyblack.com. Go to wejuice.com. Go to hospitality.com. Freedompaper.com. Those are all black companies. Uh, and we have to begin, and if we don't do it, then we can only be responsible for the expedition of our demise. We can only be responsible for that. But I know one thing: you got to protect yourself, and by any means necessary. That's what Malcolm meant when he said that. I don't want to see people go out there and wilding out. That's counterproductive. But I do know the hate that hate produce is really, really something that we really don't want to deal with. And this is what we're dealing with right now. And it's only going to get worse if we don't understand and recognize that the fear that we operating off of is only going to get worse. White folks and that feel that we're going to treat them the way that they treated us for over 400 years, that's all written into the system. It's all written into the laws. And we are so far-fetched in our thinking that unless you have a Jane Elliott or a Tim Wines and some of these people that work on cultural diversity with white folk, it's never going to happen. And lastly, in closing, because I do believe that the first people are the moral compass of everybody. And that's why we have humanity and humility sometimes when we're mad at ourselves for not getting angry the way we should. A lot of it is conditioned, but a lot of it is who we are. The people of the earth have earthly qualities. Okay? That's why the Native American was willing to share with the pilgrims. Yeah, he got ganked, but he was willing to share. That's a quality that we all have. Some people call it cooning and slaving and all that stuff, but it's not. It's the moral compass of what humanity is really supposed to be. Okay? So with that being said, I have the capacity to think about just how I felt the first time somebody told me that the story of that Jesus was Horus. And coming from a background that I had, the person that told me that was a good friend of mine, but the first thing I said was the person was crazy. And the first thing I thought was, how dare him say something like that to me? And what is wrong? Because I didn't understand and I didn't see it. I couldn't believe. I said, "What are you talking about? You're going straight to hell. If it's a hell below, you are going to go. How dare you say Jesus and Horus? What's Horus? What are you?" The very first time I heard that, that's the reaction that I had. And I was fearful that this guy was saying something to me that I was totally foreign. And I didn't feel it and I didn't understand it. A lot of Caucasian people operate off that stimulus. Oh, but it's the ones that the elite know exactly what they're doing, because in the end they're gonna come for you too, poor white folk. They're gonna come for you too, and then there's not gonna be anybody left because they're gonna be done exterminated all. But your day is coming, okay? You see what happened in Dealey Plaza when it came to John Kennedy. So y'all don't mind taking out your own. That has been proven time and time again. All I'm saying is we cannot go on this way. We cannot go on this way. And people are going to have to gather some empathy for one another. The control group is definitely going to have to look at their racism, their fear, and they might have to have some again, some diversity courses. All the police departments should have a Jane Elliott course, a brown-eyed, blue-eyed course inside the police departments. The ones who fear working with black folks should not be in our neighborhoods. They should be nowhere patrolling anything that look like us, that's black or brown. And so the only way that you would put somebody in that situation is that if you know that they want us dead. Okay? So I want y'all to go out and make it a great day. Stay safe. Be blessed. And I'll see you next time in the mental house. Bye-bye.